Since you brought up this SARSAI and since you brought up KYC, I am assuming that as a general insurance company, you are a B2C company, you will see and handle a lot of data, right? The data needs to be processed through your systems, some maybe through your third parties that may be facilitating it. If you're doing auto insurance, then you will have someone who will take the photographs of the vehicle, the accident site. So you have the accident ecosystem that supports the entire business from being effective. The regulators are absolutely very strict about the data localization, residency. How do you ensure in the role that those parameters are being met? Because a lot of technologies that we consume today are cloud technologies. How do we know that they are able to authentically say that this is where my data is going to be and I will have access to it and no other jurisdiction can stop me in having that access? So how, as a CISO, how are you managing that part?
So as you rightly mentioned, that data localization is the thing nowadays, and I will say that information is the new oil nowadays. In our day-to-day business, in whatever the information, the narrative, whatever set, in the case of Operation Sindoor as well, yes. I will just give you an example. Even though we won the war and other things, but the narrative was not coming out clearly.
Yes.
So whether there is a ceasefire or no ceasefire, someone else is declaring whatever it is. So everyone knows the story, but whatever has happened is happened. But what is the learning out of it? So maybe you are superior, maybe what you did, but you are not did your narration properly. So, and if you are not able to narrate your story properly, then you will be always playing the catch-up game.
Yes.
So, in the same thing, earlier in the last few years back only, no one bothered about so much of data, right? Nowadays, but people now with the evolution, now the regulators are also coming up to the mark. RBI is mandated, SEBI has mandated, IRDA has mandated everything. Now DPDP Act has also come up, which is going live in the next year. So everyone is now aware of the data at least. So, and people are using, and they are so much, nowadays people are know what data needs to be handled, maybe, and do the due diligence. Thus, see, I will give an example. Sometimes some data, some clients' data, maybe not relevant for, not so important for me, but it is important for them.
Yes.
Right? The person who is using the data, it should be having that level of due diligence and common sense of using what type of data he needs to put it somewhere, or what type of data he is sharing it to the other side, and and data localization, as you mentioned. So data localization, that's why government is putting a stress that our data should not go out.
Yes.
Because again, it is as I mentioned, it is a new oil.
Yes.
So if someone else is getting money out of our data,
yes,
selling our data to
yes,
somewhere else, and we get so many other calls. So how you maintain this type of things, and how you can see the data nowadays, everyone is opening the data center in India.
Yes.
Because they want the business.
Yes.
They want the business is here. And if you have to do the business, you have to follow the law of the land.
Law of the land.
So law of the land, they have to follow. So anyway, in India has started little late on DPDP perspective. I think all the Asian countries and GDPR and other things are already much more mature and much more ahead. But I think India is also catching up, and being a third largest economy in the world. So definitely we have a long way to go, but still we are catching up the things, and I'm sure the next few years will be a good.